What's going on, y'all? It is Friday, February 24th. Pops and I, he's back there in the back. Pops and I back in the shop. We're back on the Harris again. This is going to be part 4. And we keep saying it's going to be the last part every time, but who knows? Because we got a little kink in the story now. So, Blake called me earlier. And right now it's about 6 p.m. Friday evening. So, Blake called me earlier and said that he had a man wanting to buy his open motor. So he asked if we could pull it out. And we told him, yeah, we'll help him pull it out. So guy's coming tomorrow, Saturday morning, to look at it. He wants to hear it crank and run. So y'all know what that means. We got to get busy putting the fuel cell in. And we're fixing to take the fuel cell out of the cage that we built for it before. And we're going to get that cage out here and away from the fuel cell so we can do our cutting and welding and everything. And we're going to go ahead and get the fuel cell in the car tonight so we can hook everything up like the fuel line. And then that way, tomorrow morning, when the guy gets here, we can crank the motor. He can listen to it run and get up to temperature and all that. And that way we can, because after he hears it run, he wants us to pull it out. So we'll make sure tonight before we get too much going on that we move some stuff around and get the engine hoist out, and we'll get it up here toward the front of the car, and then that way we'll have everything ready so when he hears it run, we can knock it out. And Blake has decided he wants to go crate. Right now, crates around here are doing 10 times better because the tracks around here are so slick. There are a couple of guys making the open motors around here work with the Crate Racing USA rules, but right now, there's a lot of guys on crates, and they're doing really good. So, Blake wants to go crate. We can take a lot of lead off this car, and maybe we can get it a little bit better. So, y'all hang out with us. Pops and I are going to get this fuel cell cage built tonight, get it in the car so we can get this thing cranked. Y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. So I want to explain a little bit about what we were just doing with that fuel cell cage. I know the time lapse was long. I'm sorry. We were just trying to get that done. Like I said earlier, we're kind of in a rush now. We just want to get the fuel cell in the car, but we don't want to rush so much that we mess something up. But what we had in this car before is it was clamped in the front like this with these clamps, but we had 1.5 inches worth of spacers under this clamp, and then it was clamped to the fuel cell cage, so it had a weak point. And the reason we had to do that was to get the fuel cell down under the decking to be where it had plenty of room under the decking. But what we just done was we put a new piece of tubing right here, and then we just reused that piece of tubing because it was still good. We moved those two pieces down toward the bench, which is up on the fuel cell. And that way it'll suck that fuel cell up to those clamps tight. And then what we had on there before was a bar back here, like standing up with clamps on it for the fuel cell. And we were talking about if the car ever gets hit again from the back, which it will, it's a race car, we don't want that fuel cell to be clamped on that bar that's on top of this bar that the bumper's tied into. So we're going to set that fuel cell cage over in here and level it where we want it, and then we're going to come up here and put a bar in little stands up, and then put a new piece 1.5 inches here to clamp to. That way the fuel cell is not clamped to that bar that the bumper's tied into. That's what we're doing. I just want to give you a kind of a heads up, an idea of what we're doing. We're kind of just bombing through it, kind of, you know, getting it done or whatever. That way we can get the fuel cell back in the car and we can crank it. But that's what we're doing. Y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. Well, there's the fuel cell cage in all of our glory. I got everything welded up and put back together. Everything's level, square with each other. And now we are going to drill these, and we will slug it like we did the old fuel cell cage. We put tubing all the way through, welded on both sides and welded up inside, and then we cap the ends of these. And that allows us to bolt through them into our clamps. So that's what we're about to do right now. And then that way we can get this thing bolted in the car in the front, and then we can figure out where our bar is going to be on the back. So y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all, so we're going to do some real time. Pop's getting ready to drill for them slugs. We'll get those welded in, get this thing bolted in the car in a minute.
That drill bit ain't good anymore.
Probably not. I've done them with the step bit.
I was gonna start them and then do them with that.
I got you to do it with a big one.
Yeah, because the ends of them were pretty much.
Beat up.
Yeah.
Drill bit, where art thou? Here you go. Try this one.
Oh,
Drill bit.
I took one of them pieces up in there, measured it out at
Inch and a quarter.
1 1/4, whatever we're going.
Inch and a quarter.
Quarter.
It looks sharp.
Am I in the center of the?
Alright. Like that. It looked, when I picked it up, it looked sharp. I don't even know what size. I don't even know what size it is. Don't even know what size it is. Oh. Cool. I got you.
What is that? On the outside.
No. Got a bird on there. That's 3/4, ain't it?
On them first.
I think one was 3/4 on the big end. I think that's the one you got. Yep, that'd be 3/4. You just go all the way through with it.
I don't know how big it was on the outside.
3/4.
A little bit bigger?
Go the whole bit.
I know, but I'm in the bottom now, and I was having to try to drill both two sides at one time.
All right, y'all. I zoomed in because I got the phone on the tripod, so I didn't want to take it off because I want to spin it around. We got our little inserts. Y'all can see right there. I haven't capped that yet, but y'all can see a little insert in there. We got those welded in all 4 corners. Took a sanding pad and just kind of buffed them down a little bit so they're smooth. And now me and Pops is fixing to lay that over in the chassis, so we'll know where to do our bar on the rear of the chassis. So y'all hang out with us. We're gonna do a little bit more work right here. Ooh. Let me back on up here. My gloves back on.
What?
She's a little warm.
Think so?
You? That I do. You got your bolts?
Got them.
You got
Yours
them.
laying on top tire.
Oh, all right. Alright, let me pull my clamp out.
Okay.
And just start on mine.
No, you gotta go on the bottom.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I want to put it on top again. That's the second time I've done that. Alright, I'm starting.
Keep turning my hand. I'm in between a bird over here. What you?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I can't see it.
all right, hang on. Let me get the.
Grab another.
And let me go in on a different direction. Maybe a clamp too. I think it did.
Hold it.
Give me a.
Hang on a second.
I
I need
need
you to- I need-
try it with ranks first.
I need you to hold that
I got it.
so I can come over here and get a wrench.
Nope, it ain't started.
Let's turn that clamp over. No, start that bolt in the top of that clamp first.
I did. A while ago, I just standing right here and screwed it down in there.
Right here where I can hold it. Look at that powder coat and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Might have to run a tap in. But for now, we just start it. That's it. Let me come on.
This is crooked.
Maybe clamp.
Hmm.
The cage is where it needs to be. I was gonna say move your clamp.
It'll be right there.
Oh. So all I need.
Did that time.
I need something over here.
All right, we'll go ahead and get these where we need them and kind of run them up.
Well, we need something under this.
Yeah, I mean, I got it right now, so you can find something.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to find a piece of wood or something, because a piece of cumin ain't gonna sit up there.
Up where? I ain't got nothing that long.
You know, too forward.
Nope. Not that long. I sure don't.
We can use one of them step treads again.
Yeah, what?
Step treads.
Oh.
I mean, that's what we got.
Yeah, we'll use it.
I don't know if there's any more of that oak stuff over here. Just for now. Our step treads have come in handy the past couple nights. My wife's gonna watch this video and be like, "Those are supposed to be on my front porch."
Thought one of these days we'll get there.
Yeah.
Good. We're gonna scoot it this way a little bit.
Well,
So I got about, yeah, much.
yeah, we're about center. We're almost center.
All right, well, let's leave it there for
Yeah, we'll leave it there, and if we need to move it a little bit or whatever.
Christopher. My idea didn't work.
What I did.
And my bolt, my Allen bolt's right here.
Oh,
I would have had to take the clamp off and turn it completely around.
it's alright. We'll be alright, because you still have room. Oh, it still ain't gonna work either. Either way you turn it, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. If I take this one out, take the cap off, let it down a little bit and just spin that around, then I'd have put the one on the bottom coming up out here in front of the bar. Out here.
Oh, okay, because the other one comes in from the top.
Mm-hmm. Up here.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I got you.
Well, this one needs to be flipped over.
Hmm?
This one needs to be flipped over. I noticed it just a second ago. We're tired. It's late.
And I'll tell you what was going on. I was thinking,
On the top.
see if it's on top.
Yep. That's twice we've both done that.
Yep.
We were thinking earlier, we keep thinking all night that we're gonna sit on top of these clamps, but we're going under the front clamps on top of the back clamps. So we keep getting confused and
Mass confusion.
yeah. But anyway,
I'm gonna have to take it down to get it out.
there's the fuel cell cage in the car. Obviously it's not level. And we're gonna build a bar back here. We're gonna make stands that come straight up, and then we're gonna tie a bar in all the way across over to another stand. And then that way we'll put clamps on that bar for these back holes right here. So y'all hang out with us. We're gonna throw it on time lapse. We're gonna try to get this knocked out and get that fuel cell back in there. All right. Well, the fuel cell cage is bolted in the car. And as you can see, that is not level. We done that on purpose. Most people would put them in their level, and a lot of people don't put them in their level. We don't like to. We like to tilt them to the front a little bit because the majority of the time pickup's in the front. So, it's in there right now, and we don't have much of a stand to make right here. What I was just telling Pops, what I'm thinking, I'm gonna take 1.5 or 1.25 1.5, whatever. We gotta have 1.5 going across for our clamps because we have 1.5 clamps. So I'll probably do 1.5 out here so it'll tie in good. But I'm gonna bring these stands out here up about even with that fuel cell cage, and then just tie the crossbar into the side of it like this, and then that way we have all that room. We don't have a lot of adjustment, but we do have some in case we ever do want to move it a little side to side. So, well, that's where we're at. Pops is running a tap through those clamps that we did have up here because we just had a catastrophe with those clamps, wanting to thread wrong, and they're older clamps, and they were, looked like one of them was on the car when it got powder coated, and it had powder coat in it, so we didn't see it until we went to put the fuel cell cage on here. And these newer clamps right here are good, so we went ahead and used those right here so we could tighten them up and get this where we wanted it. So now I can do some measuring and do some tube cutting, try to get a brace in here, get this thing bolted in. Y'all hang out with us. What's going on, y'all? Saturday, February 25th. Me and Pops back in the shop. We've been in here working. We just didn't video a lot. This morning we just kind of, like I said last night when we were in here prior in this video, we're kind of in a time crunch right now, so we just wanted to get stuff knocked out. I'll show y'all what we done on the fuel cell cage. We got all that done, all that finished up, and so I'll turn the camera around and show y'all what we got going on. Well, there she is. That's what we were talking about. We made little stands on there to put our clamps on, and then our bar runs all the way across. And that way it's all bolted in there good. So now, Pops was just fixing to take the bolts out of these bands right here, these straps. And we are going to get those out of the way, set the fuel cell over in it, and go ahead and hook up the fuel lines and everything so we can get this thing cranked in a little while. Y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all, I put it on real time. We were just getting everything kind of moved around and the fuel cell and all in it. We're gonna go ahead and crank this thing because it's been sitting here for a few days. Well, been here a week and a half. But we're gonna go ahead and crank it just to make sure we get fuel up into the fuel line for where we had it unhooked. So y'all hang out and enjoy. Yep. Well, y'all, there's that. For anybody wondering, that is a Morgan Machine Belt 362. I think it's 360. I think maybe a 358. I think it is a 358. Morgan Machine built it. It's got all good internals in it. EQ heads. I think that's a Edelbrock Victor Jr. 2-barrel intake. And it's got a Stealth E85 carburetor on it. And it is a good motor. Makes a lot of power. And it is quick. I see why the Blake has trouble now. it revs quick, but it'll probably be gone in a little while. So y'all hang out. Well, y'all, it has been an interesting day, evening, afternoon, everything. As y'all can see, fuel cell is not in the car anymore. Fuel cell is back in the floor. We took that out. Blake is going to paint all of this. And before we finalize everything, we got to weld our little caps in here. All that'll be done. And as you can see, there's a header laying in the floor. That's because we have no motor. We have no engine. What's Fast and Furious? We got no engines, do we, Ted? That's because Blake officially sold the open motor. And Pops and I just came back down to the shop. It's a little after 6 this evening. And I wanted to show the right front shock. That's what we done on the right front shock mount. Get that radiator overflow out of it. But all that is fixed up. We got plenty of clearance here between the control arm. The control arm will actually get away from the shock as it goes up. But yeah, that's what we done on the shock mount. And that'll give us all the travel we want. And Blake is actually on his way back here to the shop with a brand new 602 crate. And there's a dealer in Russellville, the Mitchell family, Brian Mitchell, Braden Mitchell, Morgan Willingham. Y'all check out those folks. They're great folks. Twisted Performance and Machine. If y'all remember when we worked on Kelly's open wheel a couple weeks ago, Kelly's nose piece had the Twisted logo on the front. That is the Mitchells. And they have really good deals on the 602s. If y'all need a 602, give them a call. They'll fix you up. They have everything to dress them out and usually have all that in stock. So Blake is on his way. All we're going to do tonight is just sit the crate inside the shop. And we may piddle with it. But right now, I know this video is already going to be long enough. And this is part 4. So there will be part 5. So we don't know how many parts it's going to be. We just need to make a build series on Blake's car. How about that? So, but anyway, that's what we got going on. The Harris is getting a crate and painted and then sheet metal work. So I got a phone call earlier. We got a new project coming in. We got a shawl car coming. We got to do a pull bar mount and everything in. So we'll definitely be videoing that in about a week and a half, probably. They got to get the parts in, and they're going to bring us the parts and the car. So y'all hang out with us. We got a lot more content coming, and hopefully soon we'll get back on our car. But, you know, like we said, we like keeping these guys going. We'll get to the racetrack. We know we will. We'll get our car put together for sure. That's no big deal. And we'll take our time and do it right. And the joke was made earlier today by Pops and Blake and myself. We told y'all it would have sheet metal on it, but we didn't tell y'all whose sheet metal would be on it. But anyway, that was a joke we made earlier today. So y'all hang out with us. We got a lot more content coming. We appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget the hats are available. They are actually on the way, and the first dozen is actually spoken for, and I put in another order for another dozen. So if you'd like a hat, just let me know. we get you fixed up. And we appreciate all the support from those that wanted a hat. We thank y'all for watching. We thank y'all for following along. And until next time,
Appreciate it, guys. God bless.
see y'all.